My wife stopped watching my videos. I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding about my wife no longer watching my videos, but I'm kidding about me being sad about it. In fact, as strange as this may sound, I'm really proud of her for doing this. And the reason is because of the entire situation. The distance, the fact that it's been probably around 9 months at this point since we saw each other last. And, the last few months, there was like a couple of those months where we weren't really able to talk a lot because of my coughing and breathing issues. And it's only recently we've been able to talk more. And because of, all the news and the ups and downs and everything we've been through recently with my health, it's difficult for her to watch my videos because I always am very careful about being as honest and representative of what I'm going through as possible. So it's like when it's good news, I share the good news. When it's bad news, I share the bad news. I don't hold back. I don't try to present things in a more positive light than they are. The whole point of this is to share the experience. And sometimes it sucks. Sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes I'm sad. Sometimes I'm in pain. Sometimes, it's just like there's a lot of emotions and things that I go through. And, even though I keep my wife updated on everything, I completely understand how it's difficult for her to watch my videos and have to relive that. Especially since, we both believe in manifestation and we both understand how truly powerful words can be and how important it is to monitor the words that are coming out of our mouths. And for her, it's difficult to hear me say stuff like, especially when I have a video like titles like, you'll be dead by Christmas. It's like stuff like that. Even though I don't believe it, I can understand how from a, manifestation perspective of like, you attract into your life what you talk about, what you think about. I can understand why that could be difficult for her to watch. My perspective is slightly different. Yes, I believe in manifestation. Yes, I believe words are truly powerful, and I'm very careful about the words that I choose. But I also believe that sharing is a very useful way to be able to process things and release it. So to me, talking about, quote unquote, negative things is not a way for me to attract it into my life. And I'm not worried about that happening because it's a way for me to process that negative thing, whatever it is, and to release it. That way I don't attract it into my life because that's the thing about manifestation. If you focus on things you want, you're going to attract those in your life. But if you focus on things you don't want, even if it's trying to ignore them and repel them and pretend like they don't exist, you're probably also going to attract that in your life because it's such an important part of you. And the solution I found to that is to just process it, whatever that means. If that means crying or being angry or talking about it, whatever that means, and being able to release it. And for me, the best way to do that is to talk about it, to share it, either with, my friends or family or through video. And the other thing, the other reason why I'm not afraid of attracting things I talk about into my life is because, my videos are 10, sometimes 15 minutes long. I'm just sharing a story. It's not like I'm thinking about this all day long. It's not like I'm talking about this all day long. I'm just sharing a story. But all that to say, it's like, my wife and I have very similar beliefs, but also slightly different perspectives. And I completely understand how it's difficult sometimes for her to watch my videos. So I completely respect her and I'm very proud of her for deciding not to watch videos, especially since, you know, she's more sensitive. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just everything I've been through has kind of like taught me not to let external things affect me. Not in the sense that like I ignore reality and I don't process what I need to process. It's just, I've been through a lot of, excuse my French, but shit in my life. And it's just allowed me to, very quickly take whatever that is, process it, release it, and move on so it doesn't keep affecting me. Whereas my wife I mean, and that's a very good thing, I believe, hasn't had that much, or as much at least, bad stuff happen in her life, or intense things, until recently, of course. And as a result of that, you know, it's things that happen, external factors tend to affect her more. And, watching my videos is one of them. So it's like, I understand that, I'm aware of that. And she also, like other videos, she would also watch like other videos on TikTok and stuff like that about other people who had cancer, who were struggling and fighting and stuff like that. And it's just like, I could see it was affecting her. And, I'm proud of her for stopping and no longer watching those videos. But even more, I'm really, really proud of her for, having the courage to stop watching mine because, she's my wife. She wants to support me and encourage me, and telling me that she doesn't watch my videos anymore is obviously something difficult because she doesn't want to hurt my feelings. Obviously I am who I am. I don't take any of those things personally. I always believe that everyone should do whatever is best for themselves. And let's be honest, most people who are close to me, who love me, do not watch my videos. Like at this point, I would say, aside from my wife up until recently, there's just one of my friends who watches my videos. I don't think he watches all of them, but I think he kind of watches them every once in a while, regularly enough to kind of keep up. But I still keep all of my closest friends and family up to date on everything, which is why most of them don't feel the need to watch my videos. So it's like, my sister used to watch my father and my mother back when I was traveling because, it was more difficult for us to communicate. So that's kind of their way of keeping track of what I'm doing. But now that I'm back and I keep them updated on everything whenever there's good news, whenever there's bad news, it's like I completely understand why they wouldn't watch my videos. In their situation, I wouldn't either. And, even though it's slightly different for my wife because, we're much closer, I completely understand where she's coming from. Once again, I'm very, very proud of her for the decision she's made. I know it wasn't easy for her to make that decision, and it also wasn't easy for her to tell me, but I'm really glad that she did, and I know it's going to be for the best. So I just wanted to share that because, it's part of the journey. And, every time my wife does something that I'm proud of, I want to share that because I love her and I want to share my pride. I want to share her accomplishments. It's just, it's who I am. So I wanted to share that. Plus, at this point, I've spoken about my wife so often in my videos. I know that a lot of you care about her, even though you've never seen her or met her or heard from her. And to be fair, I think some people doubt that she actually exists, but hey, whatever. People have their opinion. But, all that to say, she's an important part of my life and also an important part of this channel because I mention her a lot. So I just find that it's important to keep everyone who watches updated on what's going on, not just for me, but for her as well and as a relation in our relationship. Obviously, out of respect for her and for our privacy, there are certain details that I don't share, which is perfectly normal. But, I think it's important to share things like this. So I hope you enjoyed the update, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.